Hi guys, today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some really awesome things that you can learn from being in a relationship with a psychological manipulator, a cluster B, a narcissist, a psychopath, a sociopath. Here is some stuff that you can learn. Well, first, when you get out of the relationship, once you get some space away from these disordered people by going no contact, if you have children, you may need to go gray rock, which is where you just become the most boring person. No emotional content. You don't give them any positive, you don't give them any negative, you just become a boring rock, okay? If you're lucky enough, like me, that you can go no contact, even in the midst of a awful divorce, then you're one of the lucky ones. So once you go no contact, you're going to start getting perspective. Think of it like you were in a cult. You were in a cult of one, and you have to be deprogrammed from the cult. So you were brainwashed, you were love bombed. Of course, you were in the relationship that has this sort of trajectory. Like the relationship with narcissists all pretty much go the same way. They have the idealization phase where they have you on a pedestal because you're feeding them a great deal of narcissistic supply. Then starts the devaluation phase where they slowly over time devalue you, and then the discard. The discard can be quite drastic, but that, my darlings, is what their relationships all consist of. And with the covert narcissist, it can be over a really long period of time, and you're like a frog being boiled in water. You don't even know what's happening. So that is their relationship patterns. And of course, with their new source of supply, they're going to do the same thing. So don't need to have jealousy over that new source, because the same thing is going to happen. This is their relationship cycle. But what you need to know is that the only thing that this had to do with you is that you are probably an amazing person. You are probably really empathetic. You're probably a caretaker. You're probably very giving. You're probably very generous. You're probably very kind. You probably tend to see the best in other people, right? So they love that because the narcissist needs, and you probably may also be a little bit codependent where you are like really, it's easy for you to look at your own stuff and take responsibility for your issues, but you might also tend to be somebody who takes responsibility for other people's issues, okay? And you may try to fix other people. So if you're that type of person, it's perfect for the narcissist, because the narcissist gets to project all of their garbage onto you, not take any responsibility for their life or their decisions, and then you are the type of person who tends to take on, you're the one that's like, is it me? Did I do it? Did I do something wrong? So if you're like that, then it's this perfect toxic dance where you're accepting responsibility for all of their maladaptive psychosis and or behaviors, and you're constantly working to try to better yourself or fix yourself. Well, the narcissist is sitting around doing nothing, right? They're not willing to look inside or acknowledge that they're anything less than perfect. So, they love to put all of it on you. So you might have been in a relationship where you were like the identified patient, like you were the problem, right? And remember, when you're dealing with a narcissist, like whatever they accuse you of, that's what they're guilty of. So if they accuse you of cheating, that means they're probably cheating. If they accuse you of lying, then that means they're lying. So, but what you can learn when you get out of these relationships is you can learn like, wait a minute. You can learn to look for the red flags. You can learn to set healthy boundaries. You can learn that you were mistreated, whether it would be psychological, physical, or verbal, and you can learn that that is no way, that's not how you're not going to tolerate that again. So I've learned, like, my boundaries have gotten so much tighter, and my discernment has gotten so much better, because I lived in a world where I always see the best in others, and like what that sort of did on one level was it made me a little bit naive, right? So I always took people at their word. So I don't want to live to be an untrusting soul, but I am going to practice discernment when it comes to meeting new people. And notice, like, do their actions match their words? Are they a person of integrity? Do they have core values of honesty, integrity, decency, kindness, goodness? Are they giving? Are they generous? Are they loving? Do they help other people? And if I'm not seeing that in this person, then that's just not going to fly. So, this is just some stuff that you can really pay attention to. It also gives you this opportunity if you are a codependent, and not everyone who ends up in a relationship with a narcissist is a codependent. Sometimes narcissists find other narcissists. I've heard that those relationships end up like Chinese torture, but whatever. You could also just be very empathetic. But if you are a codependent, that means that you have, you might suffer from self-love deficit disorder, where you don't love yourself enough, where you don't value yourself enough, where you think it's okay to let yourself be put beneath another person. You're okay having them as the superior, in the sort of superior position, and you are the scapegoat. And I'm here to tell you that you don't need to accept that role at all. So start working on your self-love deficit disorder if you have it. Ross Rosenberg has written a lot of books on it. He's done a lot of YouTube videos, and they're really, really excellent about really, facing that part of us, and, healing, and, starting to, sort of just don't try to fall in love with somebody's potential, right? Or think your love is going to change somebody. Find somebody who can meet you where you're at, somebody who already values integrity and kindness and decency, and they're honest. I'm sorry, but narcissists are narcissists, psychopaths, sociopaths, these people are they're totally dishonest. They wouldn't know the truth if it punched them in the face. So you don't want to be with somebody like that. You want to be with somebody who has integrity and honesty and decency, and they have values, they have core values. That have to do with kindness and love and reciprocity and partnership, and working towards common goals. So I don't know if this helps you, but this is just some of the stuff that I've been learning as I'm like processing and getting out of the relationship with this sort of toxic manipulator. And now I'm noticing when I meet new people, like I'm noticing if they're straightforward and direct, or if they're manipulative. And man, if I get a hint of that manipulation, like I run for the hills, because no thanks. I deserve somebody who, is like me, authentic, decent, kind, not perfect, totally flawed. I have all sorts of flaws that I'm willing to look at, face, do a lot of work around. I'm just me. What you see is what you get. And so I want to and will attract somebody like that in the future, that doesn't have a double life, that doesn't live in secrecy and lies and all this crazy stuff. So I don't know if this is helpful for you, but again, I'm just trying to help. So I'm just gonna keep putting these videos out, because I've gotten a lot of really positive feedback for people that are trying to either overcome, heal from, or escape from these cluster B relationships. So thank you so much, and I hope you have a really wonderful, beautiful day.